was like a fizzy drink you leave out overnight and have the next day. It was very flat, wasn't it? The CSK performance today. Michael Vaughan, Zaheer Khan, 160 run chase, you win by 35.
Well, CSK are an outstanding team, but I have to say that was probably one of the worst chases I've ever seen them try and produce. The start was slow. On a slow wicket, you generally send out your openers to try and get you off to a flyer. You know, they didn't come out of the traps with any kind of intent. Then that last over, the sixth over, Rayudu started hitting a few sixes, but those first 5 overs were very placid in terms of attacking nature. Yeah, they bowled pretty well, Delhi, but particularly the young leg spinner from Nepal, Lemon China. He is wonderful to see, great for the game. No idea why he didn't play earlier in the tournament when he can produce leg spin like that.
They didn't know what to expect from him. Maybe they thought he's come out of the little leagues, who knows?
They did try 2 spinners, but they were continuing with Tewatia.
Yeah, Rahul Tewatia.
Tewatia was playing the matches, so obviously he was not getting opportunity that time. But yeah, I think all the bowlers did fantastically. And what happens is, when you're bowling second on this kind of track and you know that the track is slowing down, you can actually plan your bowling accordingly. That's what we saw. I think, you know, you hardly saw any deliveries which was pitched up even after 15 overs, and that's something, you know, which when you're bowling second, you have the advantage of. I think, you know, the discussion would have been just to bowl those back of the length slower ones and cutters, and that's what you saw frequently from Harsha Bhogle. I think he's had a fantastic outing today.
Yeah,
the last over,
his last over with the bat just completely changed the game.
3 sixes. They got 26 of Bravo's last over.
Yeah, that was a big swing in the match.
So if people thought, look, if you don't qualify for the next stage, you know, teams turn up a little flat, you know, you could get a one-sided game. No, it was quite the opposite. Maybe they're trying to show there's a little finishing kick left in us.
Yeah,
and maybe they're playing for retention of contracts.
Absolutely, of course they are. And also Mumbai Indians that have been watching the game closely tonight, thinking, I'm sure Rohit will be looking and, I need to win the toss. Need to get to Delhi, win the toss, make sure that we bat first. MS won the toss tonight. He said at the toss, he said, it's a slow wicket and it will get slower, so it's a bit of a gamble, but he still fancied chasing. I'm pretty sure that Mumbai would have seen tonight's game and got a bat first, get the runs on the board.
Will the adjacent wicket on the square be exactly the same?
Well, Delhi wickets are so unpredictable.
Look how he waited. Zach just waited for us to finish.
you can plan all sorts of things, but there is no weightage for a toss on that Delhi ground. Because the same wicket could have just eased out and the ball starts coming out differently, because that's what happened. I think one of the games Delhi scored 190 and the team batting second, Sunrisers Hyderabad, we were not giving them a chance that day, and Shikhar Dhawan and Kane Williamson just took the game apart, and the wicket looked like it just changed. It just settled nicely. So with Delhi, I think, you know, it's very unpredictable. You just got to go with your instinct on that particular day, depending on which strip. I think this was a centre wicket which they were playing on. So if they're playing on centre wicket, it will be on the slower side.
I'm pretty sure Ricky Ponting will want a similar kind of wicket, just to finish with 2 wins, get yourself, what will that take them to 10 points if they win the last game?
If Delhi Daredevils win the last game, they will all have free stay in Bangalore for the rest of their lives. They can do what they want in Bangalore, especially if RCB win. Well,
RCB looked to now we've seen tonight in Delhi, they look to have the easier game of the 2 teams, RCB and the Mumbai Indians. KKR now have got to try and get to that 16 point, and potentially if CSK lose the last game, you never know, they might. If they win well, probably by 40-odd runs, they may sneak into the top 2.
Anything you saw about CSK that might suggest that, oh, hang on, there's a weakness there? Because you won't have this kind of track in the playoffs. Playoffs are Mumbai-Kolkata, so you won't get this kind of track. Yeah,
that's something which CSK would want, I think. But on the slower track also, you know, they're so experienced side that, you know, this was a shocking result from that point of view. No one really expected that, you know, CSK on this kind of track, because they like playing on this kind of track. They like playing on that slow tracks. MS uses his slow options very well. So that's something, you know, which usually is their plan. So from that point of view, they'll be disappointed. But also, you know, it can happen because you already qualified for the playoffs. You know, you don't really kind of turn up or get motivated in that fashion. But I think the trick was to go hard in the first 6 overs. You know, that's something which was very surprising to see from CSK. They're usually very good to adapt and kind of have these kind of discussions, but that was missing today. Nonetheless, I don't think CSK is the side which will be worrying too much about this sort of game. You know, they like to just come back fresh and approach the playoffs. I think they're a smart bunch of guys.
They've got a game against Kings 11 as a kind of audition. But it's interesting, 2 leg spinners. One of them so young that the other guy's probably played as many years as the other guy's young. Lamichhane is 17, 18?
Yeah.
Amit Mishra has been around forever. Actually, the senior bowler bowled well too today. He was turning the ball a lot. 4 overs, 2 for 20. But you tend to focus on the more tender player, don't you? I mean, he's just 17, 18 years old.
And
comes from Nepal.
Mishra's one of the leading wicket takers in IPL history.
IPL,
so he would fancy bowling on that kind of surface too for 12 dots. Again, fantastic from Mishra. But Lamichhane, he's just a wonderful story. I love seeing these youngsters come through. That when you've seen them from Afghanistan, now Nepal, the game has to grow. We have a duty to try and grow the game, all of us that are involved in it, and to see a young leg spinner from Nepal getting his chance in the IPL, getting his chance to play and then producing a little bit of magic, it's great to see.
There's a lot of good things happening in Nepal, which is also good to see. And he's playing in that game at Lord's, isn't he?
Yeah, week on Thursday, I think that is. So again, his story is remarkable from where he's come from. To think that he's now, sharing a dressing room with Ricky Ponting. He'll be in the Lord's historic dressing rooms in a week and a half's time with all the greats of the game and playing at the historic venues. So he'll get a great ovation.
You think he'll go back? He'll go back to his teammates in Nepal and say, "Oh yeah, Ricky was saying in."
Oh, he'll be throwing some names out there. Yeah, he'll be name dropping every 5 minutes.
I was telling Gauti that.
When he was dropped, I told him, "Don't worry about it. I'll take your place."
Yeah, it's probably just a wide-eyed young kid saying, "Just put me on the park as often as you can. I've got nothing to lose." So, great result for Didi, and little thing for Mumbai to worry about. Do you think?
I think it all depends on what kind of track Didi will be playing. The good thing for MI is they will be aware of what kind of situation they are in, before the start of the game. So that generally helps. I think tomorrow's game is a big game. RCB. I think RR will have to figure out in terms of what the combination is going to be for tomorrow's game. But I think RCB, after doing all the hard work, and tomorrow's game can be a bit tricky because RR certainly has got that belief now back. They're playing a home game, so they can have that advantage of preparing the wicket for their suitability, and that's something which you'll see. I think they would love to play on a similar kind of track what we saw today. Big boundaries.
One thing's for sure about Rajasthan Royals, their dressing room tomorrow and the dugout will be a lot quieter. Stokes is a loud chap.
Yes.
Butler's very vocal, and the other one, Shane Warne, he's very, very vocal. It'll be a quiet dressing room tomorrow and a quiet dugout without those three.
Right, let's take a look at that points table then to see why it's such a big Saturday at the IPL. I mean, you play over 45, 50 days, and then look at the teams that are playing tomorrow. 4 o'clock afternoon heat sometimes bakes the ground, and it can suddenly start to aid spinners a little bit in the afternoon sometimes. RCB desperately need to win. They go on to 14 points. They'll want to take that net run rate up a little bit, and I mean, we worked out they need to win if they are chasing in between 15 and 16 overs, come what may, whatever score RR put up, to go above Mumbai Indians' net run rate. But remember, Mumbai Indians can then play against Delhi Daredevils, but it doesn't change a lot. Look at what's happened to CSK. Yeah, it's dropped about 0.15. CSK's net run rate has come down to 0.22.
Yeah, I think the winners tonight are Rajasthan, because they've seen a Delhi team that has produced a performance to beat CSK. I think probably before today's game, all the Rajasthan Royals camp and the owners would have thought, well, surely Mumbai can't lose to Delhi. Well, I think they can now, having seen the Delhi team tonight, and if it's a similar kind of wicket. So tomorrow's game, Rajasthan Royals versus the RCB, you'd fancy that.
Okay, Captain Vaughan, I've got 2 questions for you.
Oh, only 2?
Your first your RR. Are you thinking of who you don't have in your side, or are you thinking of who you have? I mean, you see you've got 2 giant players not there. Can you almost think, damn, if they were there?
Nah, if you're thinking that, you lose.
Correct. So
they've gone. You get your team.
It's easy to say that, but can teams actually at the bottom of
they have to. The captain has to, and the coach has to get the team to say, right, we can't do anything about the 3 that I've mentioned. They're not here.
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity. Whoever gets to take their chance tomorrow, ahead of Stokes, ahead of Butler, go and grab it.
Yeah.
It's under a huge stage. Saturday at the IPL against RCB, there'll be a massive, class, and if he plays, go and get a 50. Darcy Short, if you get an opportunity, he may not, but if he does, go and smack your first 50 odd. Get us over the line, win us a game, try and get us into that sport. So if you want to think about those that aren't there, you've got no chance. Just deal with what you've got in front of you.
Zach, it's going to be tricky changes, isn't it? Now, because Ben Stokes is gone, do you replace Ben Stokes with, say, someone like a Heinrich Klaasen? If you replace Stokes with the Klaasen, then Binny is your only backup bowler. You're playing 5 bowlers only.
Yeah.
And then I guess you'll replace Butler with Darcy Short. Then would you almost have to replace, because you lost a seamer, would you almost have to replace a Sodhi with
Gopal?
No, with Ben Laughlin maybe?
I think that's what they will be debating. But I see them going with 2 foreign batsmen, which is Klaasen and Darcy Short.
Darcy
both.
Short, correct.
They need that support in the batting department, because one change. I mean, Ben Stokes just changes the balance of the team. You know, he's offering you 2 disciplines. But when Ben Stokes is not there, you got to figure out their batting in the middle order. Rahul Tripathi has not been firing that much, so they'll have to see back their batting probably. They still have 6 bowling options.
If you get a couple out of Binny.
Yeah, so you'll probably look at starting with Binny, and if the wicket is on the slower side, then you have that advantage of using Binny also, because he can bowl those cutters and all. Yeah. But it's just a matter of getting those 2 overs and providing that little bit of cushion for your 5th bowler. They'll probably go in with someone like Dhawal Kulkarni, who's a regular bowler, so they'll add Indian pace option. But I think they should believe in Darcy Short and
4 out of 6 games, Zach, the team winning the toss has batted first in Jaipur, plus a 4 o'clock start. Can it almost bake the pitch and crack it up a little? What happens in 4 o'clock games in India?
I think in 4 o'clock games, especially in Jaipur, team winning the toss will be looking to bowl first for sure. They will probably do the other thing, because in the sun, when it's hot, the wicket will be on the drier side. As it goes towards the evening, it will cool down a bit, and the ball will start to come on to bat a bit better. And for RCB anyways, the kind of situation they are in, they would have to bowl first.
They would want to chase.
It doesn't matter what the condition is from if you are in RCB's camp. Just bowl first, because that's going to give you the advantage of bettering that net run rate.
Now you're in the RCB, you're the RCB captain now. You've just come off this magnificent high. It's a close game, but very emotional game. You won it, and you think, you know what, we've now won 2 or 3 on the trot. We've got our campaign back on track, and you almost let that euphoria get to you and forget that there's a must-win game.
Yeah, I can't see that. I mean, Virat's so experienced. He's a number of players in that camp, and they've got about 8 coaches that have all got a huge amount of experience as well, so I'll be amazed.
That's almost too many.
Yeah, they've got a lot. They could almost play, some of them. Yeah. They'll be up for the game, no question about that. I mean, they've had a couple of players get to form as well in Moeen Ali, Colin de Grandhomme, Umesh Yadav's bowling quickly, bowling great with a new ball.
To play their roles, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got a good team, and as I said a few days ago, I just fancy if they get to that last 4, I just wouldn't want to play them, because they've got the wow factor, and they've got the players that will love the big stage, love the knockout stages. It's going to be a humdinger tomorrow. It's going to be great to see the Rajasthan Royals, to see how they arrive. Will it affect them with the 2 that have gone, or will they get galvanised, and 1 or 2 will have to play probably 10 or 15% above their average? If they do that, they can certainly challenge the RCB. I still look at the RCB bowling, as we saw last night, it can be got at. It's been got at a few times, particularly at the end of the innings, and if you can get them under pressure, again in the field last night, I know it was a little bit dewy, but I just saw a little bit of a panic set into the RCB team, and you've got to look at that as a team, and Rajasthan, completely underdogs. No one will give them a chance tomorrow. Use that to your advantage.
Yeah. Tell me, will you see any changes in that? It's looking the most balanced. Moeen Ali's now added something to the middle. Colin de Grandhomme is finishing strongly. Mandeep, good Indian batsman, the track is a little slow. Would you play the same side, or?
Any team in this IPL you've seen, or over the past, if you have a look, once the squad settles down, once they have the playing combinations sorted, the teams start to get onto winning momentum, and that's something which happened with RCB. They took a long time to figure that out, but as soon as they got that aspect sorted, they've started to see the results. So I don't see any changes from RCB's side. They will just take the confidence from the last 4 games and go into this match. I think all their bowlers will enjoy bowling on Jaipur track. Long boundaries they will be able to extract. They all have pace, and you've seen it in the match against Kings 11 on a smaller ground. Those kind of plans should work there in RR ground as well, for sure. So that's something, you know, which the bowling unit will be discussing around. And as far as batting is concerned, you know, AB and Virat has got a support in Moeen now, so they should relax a bit.
So RCB favourite to get to 14, you think?
Yeah, no doubt about that. They'll be favourites, but you just never know. We arrived this evening thinking CSK. We thought CSK chasing down, and look what happened. So it's cricket, anything can happen.
I'll tell you what, it was a slightly dodgy pitch. If at all you do, then it just evens things up a little bit more, doesn't it? So it'll be very interesting, as Zach said, to take a look at the pitch. We think RCB start favourites. I think all of you think RCB start favourites. So there you are. That is that 4 o'clock game. It will be so hot in Jaipur. I promise you, if the temperature is 41, 42, they'll say, wow. Because it could go 44, 45. It can. You never know. So, because 4 o'clock, they start warming up about 3:15. I know one game, they were playing a 4 o'clock game, and Shane Warne said, I'm the only guy who leaves at 3:25 because I have to toss at 3:30. All the other guys are training in the pool. Guys, you get out of the pool, the bowlers, I'll message you whether we are bowling or batting. You put on your spikes, you come straight onto the ground. You're not warming up in that heat.
That's the Shane Warne school of
you never know.
management.
Right, then the other one that I think everyone will be glued with as well, because that's KKR's opportunity to go through. They're playing against Sunrisers, who want to reverse a little trend, two in a row that they've lost, but it's everything to play for Kolkata Knight Riders.
I think KKR has got a very good chance in this match because of the nature of the wicket in Hyderabad. I think, you know, it's going to suit them, and they can put pressure on this SRH batting because it's too dependent on Kane Williamson. Yes, Manish Pandey played a good hand and is showing signs of form, but I think that SRH batting, Shikhar Dhawan and Kane Williamson are the key. If they get them out quickly, then they can certainly put pressure on that batting.
Hales showed some signs of coming good, but a lot of people said thank God for the umpire who reversed that decision. We could see the AB de Villiers catch.
Yeah.
But they need him at the start, because there's a little wobble otherwise at the start.
They need him to fire. I mean, last night I had a bit of fortune. He was dropped by Virat. Then there was the catch, which was out, and then he was taken by a fantastic catch on the boundary. So they need him to be a little bit more.
Yeah, and they need Bhuvi back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Bhuvi will come back, I'm sure. I'm not too sure Scampi and Chips will be playing tomorrow night, as we were calling him last night. No, you go for 70. You suggest that you're probably not going to play the next game. They'll try and get Bhubaneswar back in. You know, they'll try and get back to winning ways before the knockouts. They'll
want Yusuf Pathan in as well, because he's been out for a while.
They should be. I see some changes in SRH camp for sure. You know, the last game before the playoffs, they might take the different approach now. You know, play probably youngster like Khalil Ahmed or something in this game, because their bowling has been just off color lately. You know, so that's something. And SRH is a side who gives so much importance on bowling. So from that aspect, you know, they might think of trying some new bowler, just as a unpredictability of the tournament. You know, adding some new dimension to their campaign, just about to go in playoffs.
The other thing, unlike most other teams, SRH play 6 batsmen, 5 bowlers. They don't have a 6th bowling option. They just back their 6 bowlers to go to 5 bowlers to go and do the job.
Yeah, and I think. And it surprised me. It may be because the bowler's been too good, but if I'd have been playing against Sunrise this year, you just target one bowler.
Yes.
And put them under so much pressure. You almost gamble and say, just try and whack one out of the attack. So Kane Williamson has to go to a 6 bowling option. Might have to bowl himself, might have to bowl Yusuf Pathan. But maybe the bowler's been too good. Maybe they've tried to do that and they've just had too much skill to try and defect from that. But I'm pretty sure that'll be the tactics of Team from Nottingham, just try and whack one of their bowlers and try and get him to use a 6th.
It's pretty clear that they are going to finish 1 or 2, so they're going to be. They know where they're going to be playing. They've all the good deeds of the past are going to come in their favour. But it's been a tricky surface. I did a couple of presentations there, and every time when Kane Williamson would say, "This was a tricky surface. This was a difficult surface." And you think on a difficult surface, KKR may be a handful. They've got Shivam Mavi back. Yeah. They don't need to play Prasidh Krishna, because if Piyush Chawla is fit again, he could come in.
Sorry.
Sir.
I think Chris Lynn and Narain is the key for KKR. Kuldeep back in form, I think is a great sign for KKR. Shivam Mavi has been good, and this surface, Hyderabad surface, which you're talking about, has shown some of the matches been good carry. I think the Siddharth call, the way he was using his short deliveries there, that's also a good sign. So all in all, it will be a good kind of sign for bowlers. I think it's going to be bowlers' day tomorrow as far as that game is concerned.
And they're batting deep actually. KKR bat a lot deeper. I think the biggest thing that's happened to KKR is that Russell is now giving 4 overs again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's such a key part of the way that they play. He's such a destructive batsman, but when he gets the ball in hand, he's been very good in the last few games. He's bowled quickly, he's bowled, those short balls nicely. I just wonder if they'll bring the leg spinner back if he's...
Yeah, he had a side string.
Yeah, I think if Chola's fit, I think they'll go with those 3 spinners. Narayan, Kuldeep Yadav and Chola, that's a really good combination. 3 completely different styles of spinning. If it's just going to take a little bit of tweak, which you'd expect in Hyderabad, I would think he'll come back in.
I like Javon Searles very much because he reminds me a lot of my first year in the school team. How it is the first year in the school team. You come home and your mother says, "Did you bat?" I said, "No," because "Did you bowl then?" "No." "But I took a catch, mummy."
Yeah.
So, but do you see Tom Curran or Mitch Johnson getting a game in, or they'll stay with Searles?
I think Searles might miss out for Chola. I think they'll just go with this. If he's fit, I'm sure they'll try and get that trio.
They'll also go in with 3 foreign players, or Russell, Narain, Lynn.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, you just go with your best 11. Doesn't matter whether they're foreign, whether you obviously can only have 4. But
if Prasidh Krishna's not doing too well, you might as well play a Tom Curran in his place. You never know.
Yeah. Well, they've got good combination, but I'd expect them, if they're all fit, to get the 3 spinners in.
So KKR, SRH.
I'm back in KKR.
Oh, you just got all those all those free room nights in Kolkata.
See, you got to keep things interesting, I think, and KKR has been playing well. They've been actually surprised me with this season. The season was dependent on the first playing 11, and they had a smaller squad, so there were a lot of doubts. But I think the youngsters have come good. Mavi has been promising. Shubman Gill has been fine at the tournament. Nitish Rana, so they've done well in this IPL. So they deserve to be playing the playoffs.
I'm going to go Sunrisers. Home territory, back to winning ways. They've been playing all right.
He's going west, he's not going east.
Yeah.
He's going back west.
I'm going with Kane Williamson. He can't keep playing the way he's not been on a winning side. He's not yesterday, was as good as probably we've seen in the IPL. I think Tom Moody will rile them into some kind of action and get a win.
Okay, open game. We'll figure out once we know the surfaces, we'll have a better idea. But if it's a little tricky, that surface, then both sides have the bowling to take care of it. I just think KKR have a lot more batting. But if Sunrisers can get off to a good start, who knows? I just think it might be tilted a little bit towards KKR. But we'll wait and see. I did say that Zach has made the politically correct choice when he goes east. But Michael Vaughan goes west. We've enjoyed having Michael here for a week as well. You've lifted our program, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for making me feel so welcome. Thank you for giving me advice on my kit. Thank you for all the risottos that I've had and the pizzas and all the curries. It's been marvelous. Thanks for all the crew. Thanks for all the kind of tweets from everyone that's been watching. It's been great fun.
You're going to have to go back and work out with all those risottos that you've eaten.
Well, I've not done the Dooley. Dooley averaged, I think, Dooley 15 days he got 18 in the bag. I've only had 1 a day, so I've been here 7 days. I've only had 7, so I can't. I'm just a 1 a day.
Are people watching this in England? Do we have to talk to them about the pizzas and the burgers?
Yeah, I'm getting some responses from back in the UK. The good thing about this show is you get a lot of tweets about what you've said, and all complimentary. They like to let you know when they feel that you've got it wrong, which is great. I love that kind of interaction which social media and digital brings. It's all good fun. I enjoyed it. And
you got to meet Zach in a suit, not in whites.
Well, yeah. I don't want to see him in whites again. Thank you very much.
We've had a great Champions Trophy actually. We had worked before. And it's always fun to work.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
we had a week or so in Dubai, didn't we? Yeah. He's always immaculate. Look at his kit. Immaculate, nice shoes. Everything he wears is pristine.
There you go. Hey, have a safe flight.
Thank you
Look forward
very
to having lots of you on Cricbuzz again. But before we end, here's the joy factor question that Michael said he sort of lost in the wordage as well. But you know what? we did tell Michael that before we get out of the studio, we will start getting answers, and indeed we did so. Here's the joy factor question today, and then we'll tell you who's won it today. It's not a weekend, remember, yet. The second last Indian to have this unusual distinction is Harbhajan Singh, which means you had to have Vijay Manjrekar, Kapil Dev, Ajay Ratra all did that. Then Harbhajan did it. And who's the current IPL star? The last person to have achieved it. And the thing in common was that they'd all scored their maiden first class century was achieved in a test match. And as a result, the next was Hardik Pandya, who just about got to 50. Zach and me were at that game, who got to 50. And then he suddenly looked around and said, I fancy 100, and got there in about 10, 12 balls or something. He was just hitting everything out of the ground. I think Zach is the person. Actually, I remember now, we were in Sri Lanka and he said he might get 100 here. And we said, yeah, he might. And he just kept hitting and hitting and hitting, and he got the 100. So, well, I remember just walking by, he said he might get 100.
About to declare the innings, just go for it.
Is that right?
Got
Yeah.
it.
And he just kept hitting everything out of the ground.
Well, he can.
Yeah, you can. There you go.
He might need to in Delhi in is it 2 days' time?
Yeah.
He might need to find that same kind of range. Yeah, absolutely.
He needs to. Is that a sort of mixed kind of IPL? So who won it today? Who won the quiz? I'm only standing in for Gaurav Kapoor, so I can't say anything about whether you're getting a red table or no. Sai Prashant at Sai_Pras. Well done, Sai Prashant. Now the question is, did you get it faster than Usain Bolt runs the 100 meters, or used to run the 100 meters to get it correctly? But I don't know about the red table. We're hoping for Gaurav to come back. He's hidden them away somewhere. We're going to raid his bank if he doesn't come up with the red tables. But congratulations nonetheless. Join us for this big weekend that will decide which of the teams go through. If you've got a team in question and you're a little tense, then maybe you can watch the experts here talk about it. Zaheer Khan, Michael Vaughan, thank you very much. And do join us for the big weekend tomorrow and day after.